apparently, there was more Ethan Klein drama. Someone was talking about, notice how smooth Ethan Klein hid the real chat in the top right corner. He hid it like a little super spy. Probably none of his 40K viewers even noticed. Disgusting. Can we all stop tiptoeing around this shit? He's shown no proof that CPS even came. You can't call CPS in California anonymously, he said. Or one of these community members says. I don't know what happened with the CPS stuff. I don't know what the actual like what the resolution is. I still think it's ridiculous to call, but I don't know what has happened. He showed the document.
Like, it is not a secret. Go on.
Leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons.
Now pay attention to her
doesn't
chat.
Have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know.
Now this is Denim's reacting to this 2 days before CPS was called, and let's just take a look at the chat.
He keeps claiming matter-of-factly that it was Denim's community, which is bullshit. He posted an edited chat of Denim's chat when a real chat is in the top right and they don't match.
Call CPS. Like, it is not a secret. Go on.
Leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him.
You can't call anonymously in the state of California and Texas. Yeah, why did he put his cam up here? Why did he go from blip to this side to up top? You can file anonymous CPS complaints in California. It's literally on the website. I don't know how the CPS process works. 7 messages out of thousands from a different video she was watching also. What? Lose viewers. Lol, stop thinking about your boyfriend, Ethan. Is this the new meta? Is this the new meta from the Ethan Klein has? This is like, oh, you care about him so much. Ethan is, the chat is pasted together. Look how it ends randomly. Denim's debunked it. The chat didn't look like that. They made it look like it was full-on CPS messages when it was only one chatter like every 5 minutes. Yeah, I do think that it's mostly, bad faith at this point. Like, everything that he's doing is bad faith. I haven't seen if he like actually reacted to the rest of the content cop or not, but I don't think that he's going to. Oh yeah, here, this is the one I was going to show. I don't think that he's going to.
For different reasons.
Now pay attention to her chat.
Have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like.
All right, everybody, pay attention to the chat. Pay attention to the chat that is going on based upon what's on the screen here. All right, I don't know what the screen here is directly above her. Everybody, pay attention to that. You hear what Ethan said? He said, "Pay attention to this chat." This is the chat that is on referencing what's on the screen. The real-time chat. Everybody pay attention to it.
Covered in dog shit.
What? Ethan?
Damon much CPS, social service. Bro needs to unironically call CPS. That's child endangerment. Okay, if his kids have GRD, they actually need to be taken away. Actual worst father ever. Wow. So Ethan is.
He did, and he gave you an ultimatum to watch his response within the next 2 days. Wait, me? Wait, he gave me an ultimatum to watch his response to the content cop? Or what? He's going to keep slandering me? Wait, why do I have to watch his response to iDubbbz's video? What the fuck? That's so funny. Yeah, he crashed out harder when you said nice shit at the end. I didn't say the nice shit at the end. I think the ultimatum was to Noah to remove this video or get sued. I don't think you got one. He did watch it. When he got to the end, he couldn't take a compliment and just belittled everyone that just said something nice to him. He completely missed the point of the whole content cop. His response is over 9 hours long. That's amazing. Watch Asman's response. The man is a national treasure. Yeah, I'm good on that, I think. Ethan Klein accuses iDubbbz of Holocaust denial over his opinion on Sabra Hummus. Jesus Christ.
Communities and distribution facilities are not widespread across the U.S. So what are they left? And that sucks that's the only option, right? Arab communities.
He said you're a Nazi because you have a Bleach sword with a swastika, but don't even watch Bleach. He flipped out about your Bleach sword and that you don't even watch Bleach. First of all, I've read Bleach and I didn't read the whole thing. I'm not like the biggest fan, self-admittedly. I never watched the anime, but I did get the sword at an anime convention on camera because it was fucking cool. It is pretty funny though that he spent 25 minutes talking about your Bleach sword. The crew agreed it was anti-Semitic to ask him to talk to Sam, Zach specifically. Yeah, I don't care what the crew agrees to, okay? Oh, he pulled up clips of you saying you don't watch it. Yeah, it's not what is the argument? He begged the crew to find him clips of you talking about Bleach, so they clips of you saying I don't watch Bleach to prove that you only got the sword because it has a swastika on it and you're a Nazi. That's awesome. He said some shit like, see Hasan, this is how you watch videos criticizing you. Wait, what? Did he watch my response to it or something? Is that why? He went on for ages about how you're a fake anime fan. You don't even like One Piece because you haven't watched it all according to him. I did. I finished One Piece. He said you LARP as an anime watcher. Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I find this kind of stuff really funny where he just like, he just lies about the dumbest shit. Like, yeah, dude, I LARP as an anime watcher. I'm not a real one. Yeah. Fake glasses, not a real anime head. Like, what purpose would this serve? Why would I lie about this? What is it a good thing to be an anime fan? It's so stupid. The how you react is because you said he paused too much and said you react lazy basically compared to him. Yeah, no, panic pausing every 12 seconds so your audience can't decipher a single coherent point that Ian is making in the content cop is exactly how you react to stuff. That's right.
And distribution facilities are not widespread across the U.S. So what are they left with? They're left with a common...
He's also doing, like, once again, like almost a form of Holocaust denialism, which is...
Oh, they pre-watched and had a whole script.
Basically like diaspora apologia, basically saying that hummus is not Jewish food.
Oh,
he says there's no Arab distributors. Of
I don't
course
think that's
bad.
Holocaust denial.
No, but no, I'm correcting myself.
God, dude, he is. I guess there's an audience for anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure. I guess there is. There's an audience for people who are like, I really want to hear the stupidest person talk about shit that they have no understanding over, but do it in a way where it's like convincing. Do it in a way where it's confident.
Because I think it's close. When you deny like the
my favorite is when he compared himself to fucking Rosa Parks. Does anyone have that clip? That I think was peak from the first day when he was watching the content cop and he was like, IDubbb's not coming to my defense as I've been fucking vomiting out pro-Israel talking points and attacking every pro-Palestinian voice out there. Not coming to my defense is basically like you being a white student refusing to defend black students during the civil rights movement. Oh wait, that was in the content cop. Never mind. That wasn't even. Oh, you're right. Another banger comparing Sam Cedar to Candace Owens.
This is literally me telling a black person, like, you need to go talk to Candace Owens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she knows.
What?
She knows everything about the race and what it's like to be black.
Sam Cedar is not a Candace Owens, though.
No,
let me stick
Sam
up
Cedar
for my
didn't
boy
do anything wrong.
No, of course not.
I'm saying, like,
I get the example you're making, but I just want to make that.
Okay, fair. Good point, because I'm not saying Sam is like them. But you wouldn't send.
How about Jesse Jackson? Go talk to Jesse Jackson about this.
I don't know anything about his politics, but you'd be like,
whatever.
Go. My point is just because you say that this person is got.
Wait, that he doesn't know who Jesse Jackson is, which is why he doesn't understand what Dan said is quite literally what Dan said right there. Wait, what Dan said right there is yeah, it is a comparative. It is a good analog, which undermines the point that he's trying to make. Yes. Yeah. If I was a white guy and I had a black friend and I was trying to talk to him about some issue or whatever, and he just would not, he just refused to hear me out. And I was like, hey man, you should talk to our mutual friend who you respect, who is you should talk to a mutual friend who you respect, who has a similar background to yourself. Yeah, who isn't like a fucking reactionary charlatan. Yeah, that would be a totally decent thing to do. I mean, if I was a white guy, I am a white guy, but I meant like if in a situation
Nothing. It's like me saying, hey, you're trans, go talk to Blair White. She'll tell you everything.
No, that doesn't work. No. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, that does not work at all. Dan is not taking your side.
You need to know.
It's not like Ethan is not capable of talking to Hasan.
Wait, isn't he? Because I've been waiting. I've been waiting. Yeah, Ethan literally said I'm not Jewish and kept saying like, how can you tell a Jewish person how to feel about this? And I'm like, this is not about Judaism. If you can't separate Israel from Judaism, we can't even have this conversation. So if you don't trust me, if you can't hear my position on this, and you don't respect me, Muslim or not, what is this? He didn't come up with that himself, by the way.
And two, you wouldn't counter that by saying, well, you're saying that. So, Ethan, you claimed that Hasan is misrepresenting the positions of all Jews. Well, why don't you talk to Candace Owens about what black people think? Or, I'm sorry, why don't you talk to Sam Cedar about what Jewish people think? Like, how does that further your argument? Hello?
Bro, he loves Destiny so much. He really does. He says you still haven't watched the content nuke, so we won't talk to you. When you said you watched it, he didn't believe you. Well, I haven't watched it fully, but I'll watch it with him. I'll watch it with him. He made a joke about every time people talk about Gaza, PETA falls from the sky, basically making fun of the famine. He's so fucking disgusting. Ugh. He basically says the same thing.
Ethan and Ela are watching Matt Lieb saying that one state doesn't represent all Jews. They cannot wrap their heads around the idea.
No single
What a
person
dumb-
represents all Jews.
I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret.
He reacts to the compilation of you saying you can't tell him how to feel because he's Jewish here.
Other Jewish people, you need to talk to my pre-approved list of Jews that like agree with me on everything. You know, it doesn't matter if they're Jewish, dude. It doesn't matter if they're fucking Jewish. Again, I don't know what he's trying to say. Jewishness is irrelevant to Ethan, which is like
Because
a totally
it's leading up to the next thing. It's really dumb. Because then in the next one is like, Jewishness is so relevant.
Okay.
I think most Jews.
I don't think Jews
that
at large
Fair.
view it. I don't think that is the.
What in what position are you to even say that?
It's not
You speak for my
motivated by
entire
myself.
ethnic
It's
group.
motivated
That's
by
crazy to me.
Jews against anti-Zionist
No,
Jews.
seriously, how can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what.
So
That doesn't mean...
I'm actually addressing the same point twice, and he's too fucking dumb to realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is dumb, not Ethan. Yeah. Why? Why does he still try to do fucking political stuff, man? It's not good for your mental health. You're clearly oblivious. Like, who is fucking guiding you to do this? Who is gearing you up to be like, yes, King, you're fucking killing it. Everybody thinks you're awesome and very knowledgeable. He goes on to compare it to suggesting you talk to a pro-Israel Arab, or of which there are many, his words, not like anti-Zionist Jews, which are a fringe 1% minority, again, his words, kind of like a self-report there. I've also mentioned this before, like I've addressed this before. Even if 100% of Jews across the board were like, no, Israel represents Judaism, I still wouldn't give a shit. It's just so stupid. It's such a stupid argument. The notion that like a state says, we represent religion. It's like ISIS saying, fucking, they represent Islam. It's the same shit. America doesn't represent Christianity. Israel doesn't represent Judaism. ISIS does not represent Islam. Neither does Saudi Arabia. It's so fucking stupid. The truth is still the truth, regardless of what people feel about it. Yeah. There's a reason why all of the people that Ethan wants me to talk to on the Arab front are fucking reactionary psychopaths versus someone like Sam Cedar, who he seemingly respects. When I say, hey, you should probably talk to Sam Cedar privately or publicly, it doesn't matter. But like, I want you to, I want you to have a conversation that might like change your perspective a little bit with a person who has an experience not dissimilar to yours, a person who you respect. That's still with the assumption that deep down inside, there is an empathetic person who can recognize that they might have been led astray. That's the problem. That's the issue. Ethan shared an article accusing you of sending revenge porn. Yeah, I saw. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's not even an article. It's a fucking blog post, first of all. And it's literally, I mean, that's basically fucking slander at that point, where it's me receiving unsolicited nudes in front of a journalist. It's very clearly written in the article, ironically enough. It's from a Cosmopolitan article from years ago. It's very different than revenge porn, don't you think? Me opening up a Snapchat and seeing that it's a nude is a little bit different, don't you think? Especially because I was in the process of showing said journalist fans sending me merch photos at the time. Wouldn't that be the exact situation with the article in the Kavanaugh guy? No, it's even worse than that. Because at least Ethan had a defensible position initially, because it was a respectable journalistic medium that actually covered it, even though they retracted it, and he continued presenting it as the truth, even though the article had retracted it. Blog post that he's just like promoting. What is wrong with your fans, bro? Wait, why? What do you mean? He breaks his own brain here. Masterful plays.
Thanking me for even putting your dumbass on my fucking podcast when the whole world hated you and I didn't mind sticking my neck out for you. Oh, is that transactional? No, I expect some fucking, I expect.
Wait, shut up. Did he catch himself in the middle of the fucking describing a transactional relationship?
Dumbass on my fucking podcast when the whole world hated you and I didn't mind sticking my neck out for you. Oh, is that transactional? No, I expect some fucking, I expect, can you not have any expectations for your friends? Like, is that crazy?
Where do you even find the article? It had like 25 comments. I mean, he's that psycho person. I've seen it before. Someone on HosTwit found out that that person has only written about defending Ethan's positions on Israel and attacking me over and over again. Yeah, real journalist, but journalist for one person only. The Cosmopolitan article narrates it as you went through those DMs and showed pics of the journalist, not in a suddenly received a no while the phone was open kind of way. That's not true. That's quite literally not true. You do realize it's me receiving unsolicited nudes that I am not aware is nudes initially. Read the article, please. Dude, some of you guys unironically are, some of you are actually stupid. I will admit. Yeah, let me give a fucking article with 25 comments more hype, dude. It's true. Let's do that. Why spend so much time on him at this point? Ethan ain't gonna change. He's a lost cause. He's been charitable for over a year. And if he ain't gonna change himself, it's not on you. Let him rot in the bed he made and move on. I mean, there is a what do you call it? There are gonna be instances where I react to shit that he's saying. One, if it's specifically about doing Hasbara, and two, when he's trying to deplatform leftists, and three, when he is directly lying about me. One of you asked to talk to him privately because his descent into madness is pretty obvious at this point, don't you think? Like, this is a relatively sizable content creator with a previously progressive audience that has turned over into a fucking a pro-Israel propaganda monster at this point. Like, what do you mean? Hasan, what do you call Hamas the lesser evil? Also, I don't understand why you use an analogy of Israel doing multiple October 7s when that's an act of resistance from Hamas in comparison to Israel doing a genocide. I'm framing it in a way that Americans in the Western world understand. That's why. It's also within 280 letters. So obviously it's impossible for me to give you the full scope of what I mean in that regard, because there is no comparison between Hamas and Israel, something that I have time and time again repeated, explained over and over again. Have you thought about making a detailed take about how this kind of coverage from a pseudo-centrist take is clearly defending genocide in a more meticulous way? It could clarify for a lot of people he's brainwashing. Might not be worth it, but it could put you, if you could put it all in one vid. I've thought about it. I think Noah Samson's video was perfect for it, you know? The clip of E at the end, the content cop, is literally him explaining word for word what he's experiencing right now with getting defensive and spiraling. I refuse to believe he doesn't see what's wrong. I think in many ways he's just too scared of hurting his own ego to admit that he realizes he's wrong. Yes, that's what it is. It's narcissism, you know? It's just like he doesn't ever want to admit that he was in the wrong. So he's just going to keep spiraling into madness. I don't see him there yet. I think he still truthfully blames you. Yeah, because he doesn't want to acknowledge responsibility. That's what it is. Yeah, it's not his own words that made his audience feel like he was at odds with them ideologically on the issue of Israel. It's actually someone else that must have geared them to feel this way. And that someone else was his former podcast co-host, which seemingly fits that like previous hate spiral that he went over anyway with his other former podcast co-host. So it's like a perfect situation where he's like, everything wrong in my life is directly because of this one guy. There was another thing. I think like Gila did more Hasbara as well, saying like babies were put in ovens on October 7 or something, like, you know. And then when people push back on it and go, that's not what happened, he will turn around and sometimes he'll acknowledge like slight mistakes. Yeah, here, this is what I was thinking of exactly.
To kill as many people they can, no matter who it is, slaughter as many people as they could until they were stopped.
The mission was explicitly.
In their reaction to the IDO's video, Gila Klein says Hamas flamed cribs with babies in them on fire, as Ethan Klein agrees. This did not happen. 0 babies were burned alive on October 7. Ethan and Gila are such fanatical, deranged, genocidal Zionists that they're still doing the 40 beheaded and burned babies in an oven's hole.
To kill civilians.
Yeah.
You can see their war plans. They went specifically to Kibbutzim to kill the inhabitants there.
Yeah, as opposed to Israel, which accidentally bombed the entirety of the Gaza Strip.
Those are not military
They
compounds.
flamed cribs with babies in them on fire. So like,
come on, that didn't happen. Yeah, If people like this were so assured of their moral clarity of their political positions, they wouldn't feel the need to make up whole cloth something like the bad guys burned babies alive in their cribs. Yeah, I say it, and constantly try to deplatform people who are critical of Israel. Also, you know who fucking lights babies' cribs on fire? Israel. What do you think happens to a baby's crib when Israel brings the entire building down? Explodes an entire fucking building. Like, what are we talking about, dude? You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about babies being burned on fire. You just care about defending Israel. That's it. That's why I said what I said the other day, where I was like, listen, here's the reality. And there's so much more I could say about this, but in the short confines of 280 words, like 280 letters. Is it words? No, it's letters, right? Fuck, I don't know. I'm so tired. Where is it? I said, after seeing the another harrowing account where Deadline wrote about a Palestinian artist and photojournalist who was the protagonist of a documentary due to the premiere in Cannes in May, has been killed in an Israeli airstrike. Alongside her family, Fatima Hasuna died with 9 members of her family in a direct strike on their home in Gaza City on Wednesday. Hasuna, who had gained international recognition for her photojournalism capturing the impact of the Gaza Strip's civilian population of Israel's military campaign, appears in French-Iranian director Sepide Farsi's Put Your Soul on Your Hand and Walk. Hasuna was killed 24 hours after the documentary was announced as having been selected for Parallel Cannes Section Acid, running from May 14th to the 23rd alongside the main festival. Yeah. They 100,000%, and I'm saying this with complete certainty, as Israel has done, they knew, one, that they could get away with it, and they knew that this would become another major blow to Israel and its desperate attempts to do Hasbara in the Western world, just like no other land. They did not want her getting out of the Gaza Strip. They did not want people making pleas to get her out of the Gaza Strip so she could be a person that speaks on the atrocities directly. So they fucking killed her and her family. Okay? So I said this. I said Israel's a far greater evil than Hamas. Israel is a far greater. Have you been to Coachella? What, are you joking? Israel's a far greater terrorist group than Hamas ever could be. They've done 2 October 7s against the entire Palestinian population every single week for the past 16 months as a belligerent occupier backed by the most powerful country on earth. And the reality of the matter is that if you don't recognize that, then you don't think Palestinians are human. It's that simple. I don't think Ethan Klein thinks Palestinians are human. And he will do the good Palestinian, like white supremacists say some black people are the good ones. He thinks some Palestinians, as long as he can propagandize them in the direction of whatever Israel wants to do, then those are the good Palestinians. If they die, they're collateral damage regardless. You don't care. You don't care about the humanity of these people. You don't care about their lives. You don't care about their futures that were robbed, that were taken from them by this apartheid regime that is doing a genocide. That's it. There is no way to look at this. If if your moral compass was twisted in the aftermath of October 7, when you saw all of those Israeli people get fucking shot, okay, and killed, and it fucked you up, and then you watched as October 7 happened to the entirety of the Palestinian population over and over again, thousands of October 7s at this point, by a state that is a belligerent occupier, that has a superior firepower, that has an air force, that has complete control over the strip because it's a belligerent occupier of the strip, that has the population registry. Black on white violence is far more common in the reverse. The media purposely hides it. Black on white violence is far more. Hasan is racist against white people. Yes, I am. You got me. I'm a self-hating white guy. Do you understand? If you care about the humanity of those who were slain on October 7, then you should be up in arms every day. This should never leave these kinds of atrocities should never leave your heart, your soul. You'd be going crazy over it. Either was bad when he did the tier list with you, he now thinks is bad. Okay, I think you guys are making shit up at this point. That is the most delusional thing I've ever heard, bro. Come on, stop. Oh my God. What? Here's the C word blip.
Twitch was banning people for saying cracker, which we all agreed was like goofy.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, during that episode, I learned what it meant. And then I thought, oh man, that is actually really, really bad. It means like a slave driver cracking their whip.
Okay. What? I feel like, no, he didn't get a firmware update. He's just out of context, has to be cut off mid-sentence. Yeah. I want to hear what Dan has to say about that. It's 14 seconds. It's not long enough for me to make a statement on this. But Dan said something, but it got buttoned. I mean, the thing is, there's a point where this happens. There's a point where this happens where
Hasanpiker has lost all of his marbles. The marbles are gone, people.
What the fuck?
Hard hitting, man. Hard hitting, questioning his mental capacity.
Okay, done, saved.
You like the marbles, or you?
Yeah.
I don't like the marbles. Hasanpiker has fully gone he has full on dementia. He has full on late stage Parkinson's.
What? I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I don't care. I mean, who cares? Whatever. Stop sending me. I don't know what's he saying, doing. See, this is the type of shit I don't give a fuck about. Show me if he has takes that are relevant to him defending Israel. That's fine. Like, that's what I want to hear. I don't give a fuck about him like workshopping stream titles or whatever. Do you understand? Did you see the button they forgot to delete? Hosber related?
Healthcare.
Extra footage available on Spotify before Eaton hit the button while watching the content cop reveals Olivia also spoke up, only be silenced alongside AB and Ethan and Gila deny the apartheid in
Gaza.
Israel.
Again, I'm not. Do you think that I'm talking about walking around Gaza? When I say how great multicultural it is,
We
did
never
you think
defended
that?
how Israel attacked Gaza since October 7, not even once. We never
I think that's
co-signed what they did.
No, you guys do consistently defend the intensity of it, or routinely say that Israel doesn't target civilians, things like that. And when they do, they actually do it by mistake or because it's still Hamas's fault, because Hamas is doing human shields. I mean, it's not particularly complex. Like, it's just it's very basic stuff. It's just constantly making it seem as though it's actually Hamas that is the primary responsible party for the genocide of the Palestinians and not the fucking belligerent occupying apartheid state that is doing this. It's ridiculous. It's pretty basic defense of Israel. I don't know why now they're making it seem as though that's not what they're doing.
Is that not the point he's making though?
What?
That you're talking about how nice Israel is, but
Israel proper is different from Gaza.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Millions
right now, say
Muslims in Israel.
I guess that's where the.
Yeah, this is so AB and yeah, they buttoned here, and it, I guess, for Spotify caught more of it or something. Is that what it is? There's also a lot of inequities for the Palestinian citizens of Israel in general. But that's not even what we're talking about. Like, my take on this basically was this is some zone of interest shit, you know? Like, you don't understand. Israel proper is beautiful. My lived experience in Israel. This is what I saw. Yeah, I said, bro, really said my lived experience in Israel proper.
Wrong.
Essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
So this massive progressive audience that
Wait, so
Ethan...
is Ian gonna explain that point or why
No,
you're wrong?
it's no. He says I'm doing Israeli propaganda, and you just shared me sharing an opinion about the phrase "from the river to the sea."
He brought your tweet up and called to move the danger zone. The danger zone? Dog, you're doing Nazi propaganda for a Nazi state. That is not the danger zone. Get out of your own fucking head, okay? No. What are you going to do? Cry more? What are you going to do? Actively call to deplatform me again? Is that what you're going to do? Oh my God. Are you going to slander me again? Shit, dude. No, he didn't know the movie title. Oh, he thought it was... Shut up. Shut up.
Crazy. That's crazy.
has, adopted over the years, they're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it.
You claimed you and Ian used Zionism as a cover to be anti-Semitic. Dude, this is literally like when people will be like, oh, you are secretly transphobic or some shit. It's like, dog, do you know how beneficial it is for a grifter's career to be transphobic? Right now, it's anti-Semitism is hot. Anti-Semitism is literally hotter than anti-Zionism, okay? If you think Israel is unfashionable, holy fuck, dude. The reality of the matter is I fight actively against anti-Semitism because I'm terrified of the prospect of the only game in town against Israel being anti-Semites. Okay? It's so fucked up. Him not understanding your tweet.
Hasan, this morning, I also want to give a shout out. Called me a Auschwitz Nazi guard. He's clearly on his good faith bent here. In this clip, talk about how I'm talking about my lived experience in Israel proper. Everybody knows that the use of the word proper is the correct usage to refer to the borders, the established borders of Israel. And I explicitly am talking about my experience.
You know what's really funny is that the person who made this Oscar-winning movie, he said the same shit. So this take here is not necessarily unique. The entire point of the movie is about the banality of the day-to-day existence in the backdrop of the Holocaust taking place.
Living in Tel Aviv, which I say explicitly in this clip.
Also, Rudolf Hess goes back to, Berlin. Where did he go? He went back to Berlin, right? By the end of the movie. Don't worry. He shows his experience in Germany proper as well. If you don't consider Auschwitz to be a part of the original German lands.
And Hasan says, bro, really said my lived experience in Israel proper. And once again, I want to emphasize that is actually totally unproblematic and the correct way. Unless his point is that there's no such thing as Israel proper.
I do think that's his point.
So then we're talking about something completely else. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is a still from a movie called The Danger Zone.
Zone of Interest.
The Zone of Interest about a Nazi family who's in charge of Auschwitz, living outside the concentration camp and raising their family casually there, which, as you know, is what I did living in Tel Aviv. And by the way, Hasan, let's not forget that we were friends. Did you not? You didn't know that I was living in Tel Aviv, aka outside a concentration camp?
I just
Frogan,
realized.
all you guys, Denims, who used to be huge fans of the show.
Well, first of all, I had no fucking, I don't know what his experiences in Israel were. I didn't even know he was technically an Israeli citizen until like literally a couple months ago when people were yelling at me. So that's number one. I didn't watch his old vlogs where he was apparently saying fucking heinous shit about Israel. Ironically enough, many people who are former fans of his knew all about his original takes on fucking Israel, okay? I was not like I was beyond Vape Nation or whatever. I was not like a major. He now claims he was born in Israel. Okay, shut up. Shut up. He did not fucking say that. I feel like you guys just like sneak in some dumb fuck bullshit in here. And then I read it. Yes, he did. Anyway, yeah, he probably fucking misspoke. Okay, just like the danger zone thing. And you guys brought it in here and I misunderstood. Stop. Every fucking little thing he says is not like, there's a difference between him being like, I was actually born in Israel and repeating that as like a person experiencing like a psychotic break or something. Okay. And genuinely thinking he was born in Israel in the way that you're presenting it versus him misspeaking. Do you understand? That shit pisses me off. Tel Aviv is closer to Gaza than Berlin to Poland. But proximities to war crimes are not the issue here. He ignores the war crimes. Yeah. What he fails to comprehend here is that this is the literal fucking backdrop of a Holocaust. Okay? When you are defending the multifaceted, multicultural nature of Israel in the backdrop of a fucking modern day Holocaust happening, yeah, you're doing the exact same thing. Imagine if this wasn't made by a Jewish director who is the descendant of Holocaust victims and Holocaust survivors alike. And instead it was made by a German guy, okay? And he was showing how wonderful Nazi Germany was. Like, imagine if that was the point. That would be akin to what you are doing. You understand? Coughed us on the diddler biker. Okay, buddy. Yeah. I love how the new meta is like unironically posting shit within the context and still having the dumbest fucking idiots be like, oh, you were creeped out by Diddy shit way before people even knew that he was a fucking pedophile. You must have loved Diddy. Yeah, I know, buddy. Yeah. Good luck. They about to take that so out of context. Yeah. Anyone old enough in the 90s knew this about Diddy? No. No, dude, what the fuck? First of all, I was in Turkey in the 90s. I didn't know shit. I didn't know shit until all of this stuff came out.
You're going to call me a Nazi fucking
Hasan's
concentration guard for
tweet.
living in Tel Aviv?
I hope you get PTSD.
I sure wasn't hiding it, but okay. I see you're being good faith here today, Hasan.
Dude, does this man think that like I have smoke for anyone who has ever spent time inside of Israel? Does he not understand that I have fans who live in Israel right now? Like, I have Jewish fans who live in Israel right at this moment. I interview people who are in the fucking Israeli Knesset. I talk to journalists. I actively, like, I have no issue with people living in Israel. I live in America. The entire difference here is, it would be, first of all, if Ethan was smart enough, he would constantly hammer on the point. Ironically, he's too stupid to make this point. He'd be like, we live in America. What the fuck are you talking about? We live in a settler colony that did a genocide and completed it, okay? I understand that reality. I live within that reality. I also understand how that fundamental principle, the fundamental truth about American inception plays a formative role in the American consciousness, which is why when I talk to people in the Western world, people living in the heart of empire, I try to get them to comprehend the wrongdoings of the past. It's not to like badger them over the head with it. All right. Of course, it would be insanely hypocritical for me to be like, oh, dude, you fucking were born in Israel and have only known Israel. Well, fuck you. You're a fucking piece of shit. I understand that there are people, even in Israel, a country that is incredibly fascist, that are still trying to do their very best to fight against the fascist genocide being perpetrated. Okay? My problem with Ethan is not that he lived in Israel. My problem with Ethan is that he keeps fucking defending Israel with this mealy-mouthed, liberal Zionist, squishy bullshit, while simultaneously claiming to be a pro-Palestinian fucking advocate. That's the problem here. If he had not said anything about Israel and did not constantly fucking yell at its detractors, I wouldn't give a shit. I would never talk about him. He can fucking chirp about any number of different goddamn things. The point is, you're trying to defend the multifaceted, multicultural nature of Israel in the backdrop of a fucking Holocaust, dude. The modern day Holocaust. Get the fuck out of here. He tried to make that point here.
Actually have peace. You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go.
Ethan said when he's done talking to Sam, he needs you to talk to Mossad, the son of Hamas. I like that he wants me to talk to a literal Mossad operative, by the way. Like he's going to talk to someone who he's ostensibly on the same side of, someone he respects, someone that he likes. So for that, for you know, me demanding that he do that, I have to talk to a fucking literal Mossad agent. An animal, dude. A bloodthirsty animal. Yeah, what a great trade. Sure, I'll do it. I'll fucking debate his bitch ass. If he talks to Sam Cedar publicly and atones for all of the fucking ridiculous propaganda that he's done, yeah, I'll talk to him. He said he wants to debate Anissa. Oh, God, he's such a fucking... I don't know what Anissa's level of interest is in this, but I'm sorry. I've been fucking asking for him to talk to me about this for how many months now? He is so fucking scared, dude. He is so goddamn scared of anyone that he perceives, falsely or correctly, that he couldn't fucking dominate. And I think Anissa would dominate him, for the record. But he probably thinks in his mind he could actually, you know, look better in that conversation. No talking to someone who would be endlessly charitable to him, like Sam. No talking to any number of different people that he's slandered over the years. Yeah, fucking talk to Matt Lieb. Talk to Bad Empanada. Destroy Bad Empanada in the marketplace of ideas. Why won't you do that? He's called out your wife, dude, right? He's done horrible things. You should talk to Bad Empanada and fucking destroy him. You can do it, big man. Remember how you defeated Just Girly Things or Just Pearly Things or whatever the fuck?
Oh. Like, sure, it sounds like America to me. Like, all right.
I don't think that...
What is he saying here?
He's saying that Judaism and colonizing the entire manifest destiny body mass of U.S. is cool. It's fine because enough time has passed. And he doesn't actually have to interface with any hard decisions like, am I living on where a tribe used to live, and should I just give them all my properties and money? Mm-hmm. So again, it's like this whole argument of colonialism is just so fucking rich.
You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go. Like, sure, it sounds like America to me.
Like you took like 3 words that I said from a larger conversation and like just left it at that.
That wasn't even what he was saying. He was saying that Jews are safe in the United States of America, evidenced by Ethan living a wonderful and very comfortable life in the United States of America. And he has every right to live a comfortable life in the United States of America as a Jewish American. Or anywhere he wants to, really. So what happened? Did he watch like Destiny's reaction to the fucking content cop and then tried to do a shitty version of it? He sounds like Destiny's orbiters that come in here and try to argue and use the similar the similar talking points and the same speech patterns. Like, buddy. Anyway, he had said they have parts written down. Jesus Christ.
It's bananas. It's disgusting. It's disgusting is what it is. It's pathetic.
Like, all right.
I don't think that Israel said they represent all Jews. I don't think that's a stance. We're like, hey, displacing Palestinians is all Jewish people.
Ethan is...
Okay, if Israel doesn't represent all Jews, and they've never said that they represent all Jews, then, great. I can shit on Israel all day, every day, and you can't fucking call me anti-Semitic, I guess, for that reason, right? Except you want to have your cake and eat it too, When it doesn't suit the purpose, you're like, oh, Israel never actually said that. They just accidentally arrived at the Star of David on the flag and also rewrite the Constitution and also, actively say it all the time, as a matter of fact. Like every fucking, not every, but virtually every goddamn member of the Knesset has said it in one way, shape, or form. XUZ essentially called you anti-Semitic? Yeah, well, he's fucking brain dead, dude. What are you talking about? He's a goddamn vegetable. Like, oh man, I can't believe that. Yeah, it's the only safe place for Jews. Israel's the only safe place for Jews. If Israel doesn't exist, then the Holocaust will happen immediately.
Is being so disingenuous here to suggest that he doesn't understand what Matt Lieb is saying. Like, it's like he's making a semantic argument. Like, I don't think
you have no idea what you're talking about.
Have you explained anything in this video?
You're
like,
so wrong.
I doubt you even understand half the things
you have no fucking
us.
idea what you're talking about. You shouldn't even be entering this conversation as a leftist. You should be listening and learning, sir. Sit down.
Yeah, dude. Fucking bodies in spaces. One of the grossest fucking freakazoid ways of behaving is like the tendency that right-wingers, okay, across the board try to do a bodies in spaces argument whenever they're fucking talking about whatever kind of reactionary nonsense that they want to defend. Every time I hear a goddamn fucking white Christian man be like, excuse me, my rights are being tarnished here. Oh, I can't believe it. My rights. You're attacking my rights. Yeah. Okay. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Oh, man. Dude, this is one of the funniest things. Like, I am unconditionally against reactionary politics. Okay? That's it. Israel is a reactionary country, and its politics are incredibly reactionary. They're fascist. Okay? That's it. You can't fucking standpoint theory your way into defending a fascist country. Like, just as you can't standpoint theory your way into talking about how Christian rights are being taken away when gay people are kissing on the streets or whatever, you can't just be like, oh, I'm oppressed. Why won't you hear from me? Why won't you hear from my personal perspective? That's why this should have been wrapped up literally 2 weeks after October 7th when we had that fucking discussion on my channel where I was like, dude, what you're saying right now is like a white guy saying all lives matter to a black dude saying black lives matter. That's it. Don't you care about this? I thought you were on board with the Black Lives Matter movement. I thought you were progressive. And I think there's only two ways you can go about it. Either you start recognizing that perhaps this is the case, perhaps that like defending Israel from the perspective of like the interests of like what you perceive is wrong towards Jewish people. Like, you have to hear a Jewish American person's perspective on how they feel when a person who is pro-Palestine says from the river to the sea, Palestine would be free. Oh, that scares me. My feelings are more important than your emancipatory slogans. Like, is no different than when a fucking white fascist Republican guy turns around and says, oh, when you say Black Lives Matter, that scares me because I feel like you're saying you want to kill all white people. It's literally 1-to-1. You want to know why it's 1-to-1? Because these are both reactionary, fascist adjacent, or directly fascist positions. That's it. The only difference in this regard is that in the Western world, understandably, Jews have been marginalized historically, and anti-Semitism is still very much a problem. So, of course, when someone uses standpoint theory from the perspective of being a Jewish person, it gets a little bit more mileage in progressive circles than a white guy being like, well, it feels like we're attacking Christians and Christianity, or we're attacking white people. Okay? Okay, there's no way he can't get this comparison. Well, he certainly didn't get it because I had this conversation with him on November, in the beginning of the month of November, or a couple weeks after October 7th. This is the last conversation that I had with him where I gave this exact fucking argument to him. It's so crazy. Anyway, you explained it over and over to him and he said you can't speak for Jewish people. Exactly. It's ridiculous. So, you know, it is what it is. I just don't think he's ever going to fucking learn. I think Ian was so nice, like far too nice, thinking that this was salvageable, you know, thinking that maybe if Ethan watched this video, he would snap back to reality. Nope. A little bit. What is this? It seems like Ethan.
Anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide.
Oh, wow.
Part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well
And sir, do you happen to know of any violence perhaps coming towards Israel, where Ela grew up, perhaps from Lebanon, Hezbollah, perhaps? Does that?
This is, dude, you don't have oh God. You do not have the intellectual faculties to be able to have a coherent conversation on this because you don't know the history, despite the fact that many of your critics have time and time again tried to describe to you that Hezbollah was a militant force that was born out of Israel's unjustifiable occupation of Lebanon. Okay, that's number one. And number two, Hezbollah has only grown in popularity as a direct consequence of Israel's further incursion into Lebanon time and time again, and they have successfully purged Israel from its borders in the past. And last but not least, the only reason why a dumb fuck asshole can do this annoying, idiotic fucking propaganda that they are too stupid to even recognize is fucking propaganda is because of Western chauvinism, where other dumb fuck people think, well, this actually corresponds to my previous biases, so I'm just going to go along with what he's saying here. He must know what he's talking about. It's just ahistorical garbage. It's ridiculous. There is no way that he has not accidentally encountered the truth about what he is saying here, because he's talked about this time and time again. Bad Empanada covered it in the fucking response to the context nuke. Many other people have brought this up. This and a number of different idiotic things.
That ring a bell to you, you dumb, ignorant fuck? How dare you attempt to lecture me on this conflict? You just learned about this like...
Okay, I don't know when Ian learned about this conflict, but you still haven't learned anything about this conflict. What do you mean, how dare you attempt to lecture me? Okay. Talk to someone who does know about this conflict a lot more than you, okay? For a lot longer than you have known about anything, really, because you still fucking haven't learned anything. You employ Lebanese people. Why don't you talk to them?
Like 2 weeks ago, clearly, and you're just deferring to Hasan as an expert.
I is an expert on the subject matter, and he